Hello guys, and welcome back to another game development tutorial. So today, our episode will be about the same length as the last videos. So today we will be importing a asset into Unity, which we have not done before. This is for our rule tile system, and if you do not know what that is, it's just so we can more easily make levels other than dragging and dropping objects. We can just paint them to the screen. So first of all, let's just start off with making our rule tile system. Okay, so I will pull up my pixel art program called Sprite, and what this is a free version of Sprite with all of the features. This is completely legal, so don't worry. And I'll put a download link for this in the description, so you can download that. There's no setup when you open Sprite. It will look exactly like this. Maybe not with all these and that button. So now let's just make our rule tile system. So what we want to do, let's go to File, then New, to create a new pixel art, and I'll say maybe 128 by 128. Then press Enter or press OK. Okay, so now once we get in here, you can see we have colors, and we can make our own color, and then we have our tools. So I just want to make a simple tile set right now. So what I'll do, I'm just going to select the rectangle tool, and I'll select the outline. Then what I will do, I will select my outline color, which will be a dark gray, and then you will see a little red icon here. Click that to make it a color. Then I'll select a lighter color. Click the red icon again. Then I'll select an almost white color and click on the icon one more time. Okay, so now these three colors up here will be our main colors. So now with the rectangle tool selected, and now with the dark gray material selected, and you can tell that it is selected because it will have a white line on it. Like this, a diagonal white line in the corner. And now what I will do is I will click and hold Shift and drag out to make a tile. And it's Control Z to undo. And there we go. Okay, so here's our first tile. It's still not filled in. So I will select our paint bucket tool, which is the little drop icon. Select our lighter color. And click anywhere inside this rectangle. And then what I will do is I'll select our line tool. Select the line. Then I'll select our lightest gray color. And I'm just going to do a little reflection. Just like that. That looks pretty nice for a basic tile. Okay, so this will be our main tile. So then, we have to create the rest of our tiles. So we have to create our corner tile, our facing up tile, our right corner tile. I'm going to show you as we go along. So, what I'll do, I'm going to select our select tool. And I'm just going to highlight box around our main tile, press Control C, then Control V. Then drag it out to about right there. Then I will do this a couple more times with the tile spacing. The tile spacing doesn't really matter because we will separate the tiles in Unity anyway. Okay, so now that I've got these three tiles in a row right here, I will select them all, Control C and Control V, drag them across, then Control C and Control V one more time to make 9 tiles. Then I'll Control V one more time move that to the side, a bit more to the side than the rest. Then I will highlight this bottom row of tiles, Control C, Control V, and drag it down. Okay, so now we have our tiles set up. Now I just have to make the tiles unique. So what I'll do, I'll select our line tool, select the white gray that is in these boxes, and I'll just make these connect. So if I were to move these tiles together, they would fit. So that is what I am doing right now. Edges, just making that gray. Just like that, and for the center one, I'll make everything gray. Just like that. And remember, it's Control Z to undo, or you can use this eraser tool right here, or you can press E to get access to it pretty quick. Okay, just gonna make the rest of the tile just like that. Oh. Okay, almost done. Okay, let's see, one last tile for the top. And there we go. Now I will just fill in a strip of white for all of these, just like that. And actually, I want the strip of white to continuously go down throughout all these tiles. So I'll just do that, just like that. Okay, I think that was pretty nice. Okay, so we've got these tiles down now. Now we have to make these tiles work with each other. So I will make these gray, make the line go all the way down throughout tiles, just like that. Almost done. And there we go. Okay, now I just have to do the same thing with these bottom tiles right here. Just like that. And then delete the reflection from the rest. And there we go. So this is our main tile map that we have just created. So now, what we have to do is we have to save our tile map and import it into Unity. And I'll show you where to go from there. So let's press Control S to save, or Command S to save if you are on a Mac. And I'm just going to rename this to Tile Map, Tile Sprite. Okay, and then for our file type, I will set that to a PNG so the background is transparent. Then I'll press OK to actually save it. Okay, so now let's jump back into Unity and let's open up our sprites folder. And let's go into our File Explorer. And then you will go to wherever you save your sprite. For me, that is in my animations. And yeah, here it is. It is right here, tilesprite.png. So to import it into Unity, it is extremely easy. All you have to do is click and drag it into your project panel. And so that is now inside Unity. But you will notice when we drag it into the scene, for one, it's small. We can fix that pretty easily. But it's blurry, and all the tiles come together as one. And we don't want that, because we want each tile to be a separate object. So we can pretty easily solve this. So, for one, let's fix the blurriness. All we have to do is select your tile sprite, change the filter mode to point instead of bilinear, and set the compression to none, and press apply. So that will solve the blurriness. Now if we drag it back into the scene, it is no longer blurry, it is nice and crisp. Okay, so now what we want to do, we have to separate these tiles, but let's just set the pixels per unit to maybe 16, because this looks like a 16 by 16, and we can change that. So, we can change it later if we want it to be bigger or smaller. So if we want it to be smaller, we would increase its value, and if we want it bigger, we would decrease the value. Okay, so now let's just separate these tile sprites. So for sprite mode, let's set that to multiple, press apply, and now let's go into our Sprite Editor. So you'll see this tab open up, and now, as you can see, pretty much nothing happens. So what we want to do is we want to press this slice drop down. We want automatic center delete existing. That seems pretty nice. And now let's press slice. And you won't really see anything happen, but now if you select each tile, you'll see that it has its own sprite to it now. Now if we press apply and exit out of this sprite editor, and if we open up this, we'll see each tile is a 16 by 16, so, yep. And they are each individual tile that we can drag into our scene. Okay, that's pretty nice. So we have our tile set. I'm just going to close out of LibreSprite. So now, let's just make our tile map editor. So we can do that. A quick way of doing this, let's just go under our environment. Let's just right click, create a 2D object, and we want to create a tile map. And here it is. If we select our grid, we can drag that under our environment. And then let's go under our grid and select our tile map. So now, with this selected, we still can't paint anything yet. And that is because we have to open a new tab in Unity called our tile map editor. So I believe we can do this. If we go to window, I believe it is somewhere in here. 2D, and there it is, our tile palette. So then I'm just going to dock it right next to our inspector. Now we have to create a new palette. So we can do this if we select our create new tile palette. I'll just call this main palette. Pretty sure that's not how you spell it. No, it is. Then I'll press create. Then we have to choose where to create it. So I'll go back into our assets, right click, new folder, and I'll call this new folder tile palettes. Press enter, then I'll select our folder. Okay, So now all we have to do is drag our tile texture into here. And we already have our tile texture. It is our tile sprite that we just made. So we can drag this whole thing into here. And let's go back into, and for the folder, let's select our tile palettes folder. It'll create, and there we go. So now we can select the tile that you want to create, and we can paint the tile. And you will notice that things are a little wonky, because I do not believe that I made the sprite correct. So we still have this little block right here. That is a pretty easy fix, though, which, make sure yeah, so I did not do that correctly. I'm supposed to make this line gray, like the rest of the palette. So, I'll reopen Liver Sprite, go to File, Open. Then I will select my tile sprite. There it is. Okay, now from here, I can erase that. Okay, now I can save, go back into Unity, and we have to do this over again. And if you do not make that mistake, you don't have to do this over again. But since I made that mistake, I have to do it over. So I'll delete that. I will re-import it without the mistake. So the pixel per unit to 16. Present quality to none. Filter mode to point. And sprite mode to multiple. Press apply into our sprite editor. I'll select slice and press slice. And there we go, it is fixed. Now let's press apply. And now I can just do this over again. And there we go. Since we called it the same thing, now it works. And there we go, now it is fixed. Now we can draw with our tiles. But something that I would like to have is a rule tile system, so that when I just paint with this normal tile, it will automatically create the edges and the outlines. So that is a bit more difficult, but we can still do it. Okay, so if you just like painting like this the usual way, the video pretty much ends here for you. There is one more thing that I will add at the end. I will include a timestamp for it if you want to do this normal way of selecting the tile and painting it like this. But I prefer the faster way, which is the rule tile way. It is harder to do, but it's totally worth it. Okay, so now let's do our rule tile system. So first of all, let's open up Chrome or whatever you use to web browse. Then I'll put this link in the description, but the link is github.com/Unity Technologies /2D then extras, and they have not made this a part of Unity yet, so for now we are still going to have to go to GitHub and download it. So then you don't need to sign up or anything into GitHub. You can just click this link, then press this green code button, and now press download zip. It will download this 2D master zip. Let's open that up in our downloads folder. And then what we want to do, I believe we want to extract this. So let's double click on this. press extract all, then extract, and it is extracting, and there we go. Now the folder should open up. Then we want to rename it to, so we want to right click on the folder, press rename, and what we want to rename it to, this is a bit of a weird name, but it works. We have to write com.unity.2d.tilemap.extras, and this is all in lowercase, then press enter. Okay, so now what we want to do, we want to import this into our project, but we cannot do it the normal way. So select your file, we have to press Ctrl X to cut. And then what I believe we have to do, we have to go wherever we save our games. For me, that is in my Unity Games folder. And then let's go into our project. I call the project Platformer. Right here. Now, what I will do, I will go to Packages, and then I will paste. So I'll press Ctrl V. And there we go. Now, I believe we have successfully imported it into our project. And we can check this. If we go back into Unity, it should say importing. And it should be loading, which is good. So let's see. Did we do this correctly? Okay. So now, it imported. Now let's see if we do it correctly. Let's just go back into our assets folder. Let's right click, press create, and we should see 2D tiles. And here we have all the options. So that means that we successfully did it. Yay. So that is pretty much the hard part to this. So now we can just create our rule tile. So I don't completely know how to do this. But let's just see. So under in our asset folder, I'll right click, create a folder, and I'll call this rule tile assets, and I'll double click on that folder to open it up. Then I'll right click, create 2D tile, and I want to create a rule tile. And I'll just call this main tile, and press enter to actually select the name. Okay, and then, well, what we have to do, this is a bit weird. So I'm just going to lock our inspector, go under our sprites, open our tile up, and here it is. Now, this is a bit confusing. I don't completely understand it, so I just am not really going to explain how you do this. Oh, I'm going to show you. I'm just not going to explain because I don't want to get any information wrong. So, I'll press the plus button to create a new object in our tile system. Then for the sprite, what I believe we want to do our main sprite, so the one that has the full edges on it. So for me, that is this first one right here. So I'll drag that into our sprite. So that is the one with the full edges. And then, for these, I believe that you don't do anything for that. You just do all X's. So if you click on the one box, it will give you an arrow, and if you click on it one more time, it will give you the X. So we want the X's for all of those until it shows this one tile on the bottom corner. Then we want to add a new tile, and this will be our tile that is facing right, so one of our bottom tiles. I believe it's this one. And then, we want 3 X's right here, then 1 arrow. Okay, now let's press the plus button one more time, and we want this tile, but facing the other way. So that'd be tile 15 for me. Then I want to do exactly the opposite of this one, so I want to add an arrow right there, and X's on all the other corners. Okay, so now let's do the plus sign again. Let's go under here, and I want the tile that is facing up, so the corner tile right here. Let's see if I can find it. For me, that's tile 4. And I'll do 1 arrow facing down, and then the bottom one, and then X's for all around. I'll do the opposite tile to the one that's pointing down. Let's see if I can find it. I think that's tile 12 for me. Do exactly the opposite, so an arrow facing up, and the rest will be X's. And if you want to get really advanced with this, I'm not gonna get really that advanced with this because this episode is already gonna be pretty long. But you can also fill in these corners. But I'm not gonna do that. Okay. So let's see. Now, what we want to do is, I believe, let's just fill in more tiles. So let's press the plus sign, and I want, let's see, I think tile 8. I think that's the right one. Then I want 2 arrows facing this way, then X's just like that. And you'll see like these tiny little lines appear on your tile right here. That's fine. We'll fix that issue maybe in the next video because this video is already really long. So now, and we're almost done, so don't worry. So now, let's add a new box. So, for this new box, we want the 2 arrows facing the other way, then X's on the top. And we want the tile that is facing this way. Wrong tile, whoops. Tile 14, I believe. Yep, tile 14. These ones are pretty annoying. Okay. That's just a little bug in Unity, so there's really nothing we can do about this preview. So let's press the plus sign again. And we want 2 arrows facing this way and 2 X's. Just like that. And I want this corner tile. Let's see, where is it? It is like this one, but facing the other way. Let's see if I can find it. Oh boy. This one? Is that? I don't think so. Okay. I think that's it. I'm not completely sure. Let me just check. I'm going to try Sprite Editor. Let's see. So, we want this one. It says tile 11. Okay. I think I know what I'm doing now. Not completely sure. Okay, let's see. Tile 11. This one. Yep. Okay, cool. Now let's move on. This one, arrows on the top and facing right. And the 2 X's. Now I want the tile that's facing the other way. I think that's tile 9. Yep. And now I'll do the bottom ones. So that would be with the plus sign, X, X, arrow, arrow. Then, I believe it's that one, tile 3. Yep, that looks about right. And now, let's do the other side. Press the plus sign. X, X, arrow, arrow. Then, tile sprite 1. And now, let's do the corner ones. So X, 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 then an arrow facing down. Tile 2. Is that correct? Tile 2? I'm not seeing it appear on this. Oh yeah, because the arrows are facing like that. Okay, there we go. Close. Okay, now let's add another tile, the opposite. So arrow, 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 then X on the bottom. Then we want the tile that is facing down, which I think is tile 10. Yep. Next, press the plus sign. Let's do X, arrow, arrow, arrow. Tile 5. Then facing the other way. And let's do the tile that's facing the other way. Let's see. Shoot, which one is it? Let me check again. I just want to be sure. Okay. I believe it is this one. That'd be number 7. And make it into sure, why not? Okay, number 7. Number 7. Yep. And now, last tile. Nice. Okay. Just click the plus sign. And I believe this one should have no arrows or X's. I think it should just be blank. This one is just our middle one with nothing on it. Yep, there we go. So your preview should look like this. So just seamless tiles. So now the tile still won't work. We've just set it up. Now I actually have to get it into the tile palette, which is actually pretty simple. I think it's just the same thing. I think we just drag and drop. So let's go into our tile palette one more time. Let's create a new palette, and I will just name this main palette, main rule palette. Press create. Yeah, under rule assets. Okay. Now we just drag and drop this. Yep. Select that and let's paint. There we go. That is what I like to see. Cool, we have our rule tile working now. Okay. I will just erase all of this. Then this is the last part of the video. You're almost through the pain and suffering of rule tile. Okay. The last thing is just adding a collider to these tiles, which is pretty easy. We'll fix the collisions in the next video because this video is already long enough. So, I'll unlock this inspector, and we no longer need our ground. And I'll rename our grid to main tile. And then, I'm just gonna paint a little ground with the box tool. Just like that, maybe a little more symmetrical. maybe make some little walls. But let's see how helpful this is. Okay, nice. So, right now the player will still be falling through it. Like that. And you will see the cracks appear, but we'll fix that in the next video. So, this is extremely easy to fix. For one, let's select our layer. So select your tile map. Make sure to not select the main tile. Select your tile map. Under layer, let's select ground. For our collider, we want a tile map collider 2D. And that should be it. Let's test. There we go. He's hopping around the scene. Perfect. Okay. And that will end off this video. I hope you have enjoyed. This video was a bit long because tiles take a lot of time and you need to make and actually make them work. But yeah, I hope you stick around for the next video. Next video will be much more productive, and I hope you have enjoyed. See you in the next one. Bye.